Welcome to Let's Talk Common Sense. Today we are talking common sense with a very prominent YouTuber, a photographer, a videographer, and just all-round influencer. Know my name of Josiah Hyacinty. Did I get it right? I messed up again. Josiah Hyacinty, yeah. Popularly known as Mr200m. Welcome to the show, Josiah.
Thank you for having me.
No, it's really good to have you. People have been asking for this for a while because on the show, we want to talk common sense with really interesting individuals, people who've done lots of really interesting things. So we've had a lot of different people on, but I think you're the first YouTuber we're having on, so it's really exciting. Essentially, the first thing we want to kind of just ask. So on the show, we always ask people kind of crazy questions to start off. So the first question I want to ask you is, if you were a pigeon, who would you poo on? The important stuff first,
There's many people I can't lie. Mm-hmm. Someone well known.
Well, it's up to anyone, but you have to say why.
There's this particular girl when I was younger. Just because I got rejected at a very young age. That was my first that was my first realization of rejection. Is that the word? Yeah. In Nigeria, so.
So the pigeon would fly back to Nigeria to poo on this girl.
The Nigerian pigeons are a lot worse. So that's what I'd be.
Okay, cool. That's amazing. Okay, what people might be wondering as well, more importantly, is kind of how do you get into YouTube? Why YouTube? I mean, obviously we're seeing a lot of people on YouTube now, but you've been on it for a while. So, why did you get into it so early when a lot of people weren't so into it, perhaps?
Okay, so obviously I've been on YouTube. Actually, a lot of people think I've been on YouTube for longer.
Yeah,
I've actually been there for a year now.
Oh, wow.
I started this because personally in university, I didn't see. Well, looking on YouTube, there was only the black guys, the black males on YouTube were pretty much KSI's brother. There was a couple, different people like A Online, but I never saw anybody relatable in a sense, that people that were around me. Never saw anybody around me. And I saw a lot of girls doing makeup, and I thought, wow, this is an opportunity for me to first do something. But initially, it wasn't even to start YouTube. The initial reason why I jumped on YouTube, first of all, because I was growing a platform called Young Athlete TV at the time. Okay. I'm not part of that anymore, but we needed to start a platform where we shot documentaries to bridge the gaps between high-level athletes versus lower-level athletes, to shoot short films, make short films, documentaries. So I thought, cool, if I start a platform by November, which is when I started, by summer I should have a following.
Okay.
So that's what happened, and by summer plans changed, but I grew an audience that was much bigger than what I anticipated. So which was great. But what obviously spurred me on to actually continue with the YouTube, even though plans were changing, on the other hand, well, obviously because I was looking around me, and there's a lot of black people, black boys especially, seem to develop this sort of hate against me for doing something that I just wanted to do that was different. And in Leicester, I was known as the face of Leicester, so it's like I was always at every motive, I was always at every party with my boy, and we were just always the life of the party. So people just didn't like me, and it made me want to do. I always believe, like, you're gonna see me somewhere, so if you hate me now. So that's essentially what it is.
So was this like when you started YouTube, like you had this kind of obviously, I mean, you're doing something different. YouTube is not everyone's on it. So was it just because you were doing something different? Was it the content you were putting out? I mean, what do you reckon would you put it down to?
I had no sense of direction with YouTube. I didn't know YouTube. I didn't watch YouTube a lot. So for me, it was a new experience. It was literally cool. I've never seen a black guy that's just a vlogger. I've always seen gamers, never seen a vlogger. And I don't know correct me if I'm wrong, A Online is the only person that was closest to some sort of a vlogger, but he wasn't even a vlogger primarily. A lot of people have told me that I was one of the first few days, so I'm not sure about the factual side of that. But in a sense, my style of vlogging, the way I do things, I believe I'm one of the first few to, as a black male especially, to do it the way I do, which is great, feels great. But essentially, it was because I didn't see much of that, so I thought it would be great to show a lifestyle side that isn't. I have the ability to move into whether it be try makeup with girls, try conversations with guys. I wanted to challenge stereotypes. I wanted to challenge beliefs. I wanted to poke and prod me specifically the masculinity of guys, black guys especially.
We had a brief chat about that earlier, about masculinity.
So that was
you've done really well for yourself. Like I mean, people watching, if they're watching because you heard that Josiah was coming on. Then obviously, like, you follow him on YouTube and you know he's done pretty well. We actually wanted to just really quiz you, just very quickly, just 2 questions about your YouTube channel, just to find out how much or how well you know yourself and also what you've achieved in a very short space of time. So the first question I was going to ask you is, do you know how many videos you have up right now on YouTube? How many videos altogether?
I don't. Hopefully,
hazard a guess.
I could say maybe like 204 or maybe even less.
Okay, so last time we checked, it was 161. So that's a big deficit.
Yeah, but you know, there's a lot of videos I haven't actually uploaded.
I see. So you're okay. So yeah,
there's some videos
scheduled, right?
Yeah, scheduled, or there's some videos I actually have on private.
Well, in terms of what you put out 161, which is a lot of videos. I mean, I started YouTubing recently, and they'll laugh at my channel.
I'm subscribed.
My channel's, it's there. But I mean, I have like something like 10 or 15 or 20, something like that. So 160, that just speaks about how much you've done. Do you know as well? So second question, number 2. Do you know when the first video you uploaded was? So you might have taken some down or whatever, but the one that's on YouTube now, do you know the specific
my
date?
first ever video.
Yeah, for a prize, you get a prize for this one.
I know exactly when.
When?
So I uploaded the video was uploaded on October the 17th.
Okay, your YouTube channel says October the 50th.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I thought it's 50. I always think it's 50. Because I shot that video on the 13th.
Is it safe to say you're just too busy to think about these stats? You just don't care?
No, I actually don't look.
Yeah.
That's very poor of me. But obviously, with the way I run my YouTube, I don't really... I'll be honest, I didn't ever do the YouTube to grow primarily. I wanted it to be a timeline of my life that I can showcase. So it was I never really look at analytics as the purpose of growing my channel. I want people to subscribe based on if you find it interesting.
That's probably a good kind of segue then. So do you, because I know there's this thing, obviously I'm new to YouTube, so I may not know, but I know there's this big thing about watching your videos back. And a lot of people, like, they never do it. Some people say they do it all the time. Like, so where would you say you sit? Are you the type of guy that kind of sits down and just like watches them over, criticizes, so they can be better, or do you just literally make them, chuck them into kind of room 101 and never think about them again?
I'm in between. I think when I first started, I didn't like watching my videos, didn't like hearing my voice because it was a confidence thing. But more so now, actually, when you go through life, sometimes you have to look back at where you were, and that was it. Sometimes I watch my old videos to kind of reminisce. Away from that, the more recent videos I post, so if I post a video today, and then obviously we go into the next day, I'll watch it back just to kind of have a fresh mind into watching it, so that I can see how it actually feels to someone that's just coming as a fresh viewer, rather than just me that's watched it over and over
yourself
again.
And stuff,
and sometimes I find my stuff really funny after I've, because when I'm editing it, I've seen it for like 100 times, but when I come back to it, it's great. So
I think that's one of the good things about your channel as well, because where obviously you're funny and you've got kind of great personality on screen, in person as well, I can say. You're thinking on screen, in person as well. As well as that though, like, there's some serious content on your website as well. Sorry, on your YouTube channel as well. There's stuff that speaks to all different kinds of people. It's not just games and you laughing. And as well as kind of being a funny guy, we found out doing a bit of research on you that you used to be a beatboxer.
Yes. So where did you find?
We've got great researchers. You found out that you used to be a beatboxer back in the days. Just wondering, do you reckon you can? I mean, is it still fresh?
Still fresh.
It's still. You practiced just before you came in, just in case.
Now, do you know I beatbox all the time? When I think I actually still beatbox.
Okay. What do you want to give us a quick bar? You were not expecting this. Hey! That was okay. Whoa. Okay. So this wasn't a lie. You were a beatboxer. Yeah. Why did you stop then? Was it? I mean, you still do it, don't you?
Yeah, I still do it, but I don't know where you guys found that. How you found it? No, I think I entered a beatboxing competition once before. And I won that in secondary school, year 7.
I'm more shocked that they have beatboxing competitions. Where?
If you go to like France and Europe, they're big. I mean, if I was there, I would probably be a big beatboxer.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but obviously in the UK, it's not really.
Yeah.
That's actually how I made friends in school.
Okay, talk me through that.
Okay.
So you'd be a new kid in school, so I would come up to you and you'd be like, hey,
I literally,
what's up?
I literally got all the girls. I'm telling you now, I got all the girls
Girls have changed, haven't they?
based on beatboxing. That's how I made friends. Because I used to, from Nigeria, from growing up in Nigeria to moving here, I moved every 2 years, country or city. So it was hard making, it was easy making friends in the sense that I never had long-term friends. So I always had to find something that allowed me to bring people towards me.
Together.
So when I remember Plymouth, so when I went to Plymouth, I lived in Plymouth briefly. And I remember just always beatboxing. And when people heard of it, word goes round. And then
there's new beatboxing players.
It's just like, how did you do that? And I'm like, do what?
And he's black.
And then literally.
Yeah, that's amazing.
If you're black and then you can do anything.
You're
That's amazing. Especially in Plymouth.
I'm
the only black guy in the block, like in the whole city, to be honest.
So you're a man of many talents then.
Yeah.
Another thing we found, I'm just literally this is like on the playground, I'm just gonna tell you rumors and you can tell me if they're true or not. Another thing we found is that a nickname of yours was Jojo.
That still stands to
Now, from your face, from the look at your face, I'm guessing, do you like that? Do you not like it? Or is it kind of like, why you calling me that?
I mean, if you call me Jojo, you have to be personal. You have to be personal. You have to be very personal to me.
Yeah.
My mom calls me Jojo, so
okay.
Not many people call me Jojo. My dad is a Jojo. Like when I'm in trouble, my dad calls me Jojo. My mom calls me Jojo. Just cause. But I think there's a few friends right now that call me Jojo.
So how do people? Because I we found as well that that Mr200m was it wasn't a name you loved instantly. It's something that had to grow on you. So how do people navigate that? So who calls you Jojo? Who calls you Mr200m? Who calls you Josiah? And what do we call you exactly?
Okay. Personal people. If you're really really personal, as in if you're like very close to me, you can call me Jojo if you like. I would answer to you. I would reply to you only if you're personal. If you're anybody else, I wouldn't hear it personally. Everybody that knows me from either social media platforms or a lot. I don't know where. I think there's a lot of things that Mr200 is involved in that I'm not even sure myself. Even though that is me. But a lot of people know me from different avenues. Because I've done, whether it be hosting or talking as Mr200 or vlogging or going to events as Mr200. Or just photography, and people see me as Mr200 from YouTube. So if I hear Mr200, I'll always stop and then introduce myself as Josiah. I believe obviously not everybody knows my name, even though I say it a lot. But I think obviously being addressed with Josiah is the best thing I enjoy.
I guess when you have like a large kind of social media following, people start to know you as the kind of the brand or the person online, and they may not know the actual you, as it were. So I totally understand that. What I was going to ask then, so being that brand and having such a platform, one of the things that's amazing to see you do, as I said before, was not just use it for kind of jokes, which are very important, and making people laugh, which I know you care about a lot, which is really good. But you've also talked about important things, like mental health and stuff like that, which people may not know. I don't know if you have videos up talking about that, but I know you've done work and something you speak about a lot. So I just wondered if there's anything you want to say on that kind of topic.
Okay.
Just because I know it's something you've touched on before.
I do have videos currently on mental health, but it's intertwined in so many different things I can't actually tell you what I've actually made. But there is stuff up there, especially for university students, because I'm a university student, and I believe there's so many undiscovered parts of, well, let's say not undiscovered, but let's say not talked about as much as we should. So that's why I try to highlight that, because it's passionate to me. And like you said earlier, I seem to have content for everybody, and that's something I really believe in. I pride myself in making content that could reach anybody. I want people to be able to watch me when they're happy, sad, angry, whatever emotion, there's something for you. And within that, these topics, mental health is such a big issue, especially for men. I mean, I believe 70% of suicide rates currently are men. And that just shows you that because of the culture within us, we tend not to talk. And I believe that through the YouTube, I've seen a culture change, especially around me, because I see a lot more guys opening up or feel that it's not bad to be able to speak to your guys, or the way I show affection to my friends. I don't have a problem with saying I love one of my boys. I believe it's essential for me to create an image, because that's what people who influence do. If you see something as a norm, you tend to gravitate towards it. Well,
it's a point you're speaking about it, because I guess around young males, especially those from African kind of origin, it's not something you hear spoken about often. So I know for myself, I never really. It's not even a case of I didn't speak about it. It's just not something.
You expect it to be like from where we come from. It's like you expect it to be. You know, everything is, you know, you have to be strong. You have to be strong, or pray about this, or you know, it's just we miss it, even though it is something that is so essential. And even the ability to just know that it's okay to talk. I think as a guy, it's essential because not many men they don't really get taught how to be a man.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of picking it up from wherever you can.
That's amazing. Keep making those videos, honestly, because I think they're helping a lot of people. And if anyone's listening to this and struggles with anything like that, you know, there's help out there, and we'll put kind of relevant links to people who can go on to find more help. On a more lighter note, we know of a story, and you got to set the record straight for this story. It involves a slap, and it involves someone falling out of the car because because of that slap. Okay, So can you tell us what happened there?
Okay, if I'm thinking rightly, I think I spoke about this on my YouTube. I did a video with Meet My Dad. So I was basically, what happened was I don't know how young I was, but I was going to school. Normally you get dropped off. This was in Nigeria, and I was basically telling my dad, I'm gonna be late, and then my dad made a joke. He's like, okay, you know what, go then. So in my determination to make it to school, bearing in mind to drive to my school, it's like driving from, I don't know, it's like a half an hour drive.
Oh gosh!
Actually,
you were gonna walk it?
I was gonna walk it. I had no concept of time nor distance. So I was just like, cool, I'm going to school. I was angry. And then I was actually walking. I walked for a good 10 minutes, 15 minutes, which took me nowhere. And then I just remember my dad pulling up, shouted at me, and told me to get in the car. As soon as I got in the car, he's still driving, and he slaps me with his right hand at the car, and
I don't think we got that. So your dad slapped you.
My dad's still driving,
and you fell out the car.
my head swings at the car. My head just swung out the car. I remember like going really low. I was like, whoa, and then I came back. It was an experience.
I think the more vivid your imagination is, the more you can recreate that. Because obviously I've been hit a lot of times. I got marks on my skin now. I'll say I fell. But the truth is, I've obviously we've all I say we've all, but a lot of people had those kind of parents who were disciplinarians. So that was just funny because it revealed that. I mean, obviously you had a strict upbringing, I would think.
Kind of strict, kind of liberal. I mean, I believe it was liberal for a typical, stereotypical African family. But it was strict, as in on principle. So I guess so. I get a bit of both.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, cool. Well, now we're going to move on to something else. We're going to speak a bit more about your industry, which is YouTube. Especially, we're going to speak to aspiring YouTubers out there, people who don't know much about YouTube, or those who actually do know a lot and are aware of the current things that are happening right now within YouTube. So obviously, this is the Let's Talk Common Sense podcast, which means we can't avoid talking about issues in a very kind of common sense way. So we're going to address some issues, especially issues particular to your industry. But we want you to be as honest as you can about them, to speak about them frankly. Don't try to mince any words, essentially. So one thing that people might have seen recently was that YouTube changed its laws, or its policy, as it were, as it relates to monetization and things like that. Obviously this made a lot of new YouTubers angry because now they had to get, I think, 40,000 hours.
A lot of people thought it was 40,000, but I believe it's 4,000. So
you have to get 4,000 hours of watch time and 1,000 subscribers before you can start monetizing. So what do you think about that? And in terms of when you started, do you think that would have been really hard for you to clear? I mean, what would you say about that?
I personally think it's a good decision to make by YouTube. Considering the atmosphere of YouTube right now, there's a lot of stuff. Well, society right now, the economy right now is in high alert for a lot of things, So, and having a free platform like YouTube can also promote negative stuff, because YouTube can't control what I choose to make, but they can control ultimately who jumps on it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of people are not taking YouTube seriously in the sense that they just come on and upload a video for once, twice. Okay, so looking on YouTube, if you look from the perspective of YouTube, the corporation, this is how I thought about it. How would you expect to make profit if people just jump on, take up your cloud storage necessarily, and you're not sure if they're gonna jump back on or not?
Yeah.
Whereas having to put such a limit like this gives people the opportunity to know that it's either you're jumping on this, not just for the money, for the purpose of being a creator, because that's what YouTube likes.
Yeah, but just I mean, I get that, but also, don't you think though, like by putting a barrier of 4,000 hours of watch time, and you have to get it in the previous year, so it's not like lifetime views. It has to be in a year you get that. Yeah. That puts a high amount of pressure on people to in 1 year dedicate a heck of a lot of time. Because if you make 5-minute videos,
I believe it should. I believe it should. There should be a bit of pressure applied.
But if you didn't have that pressure when you started, is that fair?
I think it's misunderstood slightly. So you said it's within a year.
Yeah.
So if you start, you don't have any lifetime views. But it's not strict to just a year. It's strict to from the point at which, before you monetize, you have to have 4,000. So it's not within a year. You don't have to complete that within a year. Yeah. So that's what a lot of people said it's 40,000 hours. A lot of people believe you have to get it in just to follow it. Like, as long as you hit 4,000 hours and 1,000 subscribers in whatever time frame, whether it be 2 years, YouTube will allow you, because it's for the new platforms. For the new platforms starting from 2018. Recently when they dropped that. So when I started, it wasn't a limiting factor, because me personally, I didn't even understand the money side of YouTube. Obviously, but we're going into an age where income is everything to everybody. So yeah, but at the same time, if you really want to make an income, would you expect to go to a job, to your workplace, and just work one shift and expect to be paid?
Of course not. But if they say you have to do 4,000 hours before you get your first paycheck,
of course,
I think I'll be like, I think I'll go somewhere else if you don't.
Yeah, of course, and then, and that's essentially what it is. If it's not for you, then it's not for you. Even if I wasn't making profit, like the money I make from YouTube personally is not a lot.
Do you know what's interesting about that? Just to pick up on that, every YouTuber that I have ever spoke to says the money I make from YouTube is nothing. Everyone says that. I won't say so. Who is making money from YouTube? Like, where's all this money going? Because everyone always says.
Then YouTube is divided. There's a great, huge divide in YouTube. But obviously, if you're a bigger YouTuber, you have higher costs. Plus, your standard of living is probably greater because you're now earning more money. So maybe your living costs might increase. So that's why everybody says they make nothing. But to me, as a student, as someone, it's equivalent to me working a normal job part-time. But it's not a lot in the sense that for the amount of views I've accumulated or whatever in a given time, I would have expected it to be more. So it's maybe not so them, but it's more my expectation. So in that sense, it's not what I expect. But yeah, in a sense, it's not consistent. You don't get, let's say if you were earning £200 a month, you don't get essentially £200 every month. Sometimes you would get less or you get more. It just depends on what you choose to.
I got you. Okay, so in that case then, so what would you say to like new YouTubers who are they want to kind of get into YouTube? Would you say, guys, go for it? It's gonna be not just if you work out hard at it, it'll be fine. Because I've made so many vlogs now, and I'm joking now, not me, but more generally, people who are kind of trying to get into YouTube. I mean,
if you love something, it's a bit yes and no for me. Because if you love it, I believe you should do it without looking for soliciting for money. Because if you come on YouTube just for income, you'll be disappointed very quickly, and that's the truth. Because it's a platform in which you first of all need to build an audience. First of all, have to have an idea. First of all, have to be original, have a unique selling point. Then create this content, and it costs you to even have a camera, etc. So, but if you come primarily just to make profit, but you're not prepared to be consistent, and I think that's what YouTube want to make clear. It's about consistency. It's about putting in the hard work. And but I believe, if you look at what's happening and like Logan Paul, all these things.
Okay, it's interesting that you should speak about Logan Paul, because so he's someone who if people don't know who Logan Paul is, he's a YouTuber, right? Like he's a big YouTuber.
Big
he gained 10 million in 1 year, I believe. I think watching his end of year video last year, he said he gained 10 million subscribers in 1 year. And he's ridiculously kind of successful on YouTube. He's got an army of fans. But recently, I think he put out a video where he was in the Japanese what's known as a kind of colloquially known as a suicide forest, where He was filming a dead body and literally making faces next to the body and stuff like that.
Made jokes and stuff.
Making jokes and stuff like that. Yeah. So I mean, what's your take on stuff like that? So if these are the flag bearers of YouTube, you know, the people who are kind of like the lead content creators, the ones that people look at and try to emulate their videos. I mean, does YouTube work because people can just put up wherever they want? Does YouTube work in terms of, you know, properly penalizing those at the top, and those at the top taking proper responsibility for being influencers? Yeah. Because if you're an influencer, you influence people. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, what do you have to say about that?
I believe YouTube can always do more. They can always do more. But I've watched a lot of things. Like Casey Neistat is another vlogger. He did an interview with actually the guy that's actually in charge of
the business side,
all relations with content creators, and he expressed the guy from YouTube expressed that because YouTube is such a free platform, I can't stop you from creating content. However, I can control, I guess, what it does. But in the sense of Logan Paul's video, I think people need to understand that the video was so popular. People were like, why hasn't YouTube taken this down? But YouTube couldn't take it down that fast because the video was growing so quickly. And based on algorithms and the algorithm that YouTube has, it was the reason for it to stem up to the trending video, even though it shouldn't have trended. Yeah. But most of these videos are not watched. They're just given the go ahead based on the titling and other things that the guidelines basically until it's manually watched. So I believe that in the sense of people getting angry and people, you know, the speculations as to why had YouTube not done anything? In that situation, I don't believe YouTube could have done that much in the space of time when it blew. But at the same time, you saw the response being 4,000 hours. Yes, it could have been a bit harsh, but it's to show other people that this is what can happen. But at the same time,
and at least they did something.
Yeah, they did something. Yeah, I guess. But at the same time, maybe they should have just penalized him more. But then it's kind of like the line is
because he's back on YouTube now, isn't he? Exactly. He's making videos again.
He's making money. Videos that he said he wasn't monetized, he's making money from. And it's like, who can? The thin line is who can actually question if I can take away your right to be a creator, even though your content may be offensive. So that's, I think, it's a battle between moral. I do understand that. Me personally, I just don't. I don't watch him. It's as simple as that, and I would say that to anybody. If you don't like what someone's doing, don't give it entertainment. Don't give it the time because you
don't give it the views. Essentially,
because you're allowing him to do.
Yeah, I think the anger came from people feeling like because of his decision, they suffered essentially. Exactly. So it was like, you know, what the heck is this? Like, why am I suffering? Because
if we didn't suffer, if we didn't suffer, we wouldn't have complained because as humans, it's only until something's in our backyard.
Yeah, well, we're giving Logan Paul enough attention. I think another kind of thing that's happened on YouTube recently was a boxing match with KSI and Joe Weller. Now, these are two content creators as well on YouTube, and with again millions and millions of followers. I think KSI has maybe the second largest channel in the UK, something like that.
I think he's the largest.
He is the largest. Okay, cool. On YouTube,
not on YouTube. PewDiePie is, but he's one of the top 3 largest in the world.
Yeah, and he has a lot of followers, and he challenged another guy called Joe Weller to a boxing match. Now that boxing match happened. They actually sold out tickets. It was like a really
they broke a record for white collar boxing. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I was gonna say, but KSI is not. But I get the gist. The white collar's a different name. Right. Cool. So, what's that mean? Anyways, so they did that. They sold out. A stadium. They did really well. And then KSI challenged another YouTuber. Yeah. And now there's lots of YouTubers putting out their videos, basically saying that, okay, I want to be the next one to fight. You know. So I mean, what do you think about this? Because I think it's crazy. Number one. Yeah. And then number two, like, where exactly is this going? Like, are you gonna challenge someone here today? I mean, do you want to challenge someone? I mean, what's happening with this? Should they stick to their content? I mean, I know Joe Weller. I don't know what he did. Maybe fitness videos or something.
Yeah, he started doing fitness videos
and then you've got KSI doing kind of gaming and stuff like that.
He doesn't do that much gaming anymore. I think for KSI he needs this because he's done so much. He's so big. Sometimes the question is, what more can you do? Yeah. And even me being a small YouTuber, sometimes you question, what content have I not created that I should create? So then sometimes you end up doing silly stuff. Yeah. So for KSI, it's a thing of, okay, cool, he's actually done so much, but he's still a gamer. He's still in a specific lane, even though he's kind of ventured off. into music, etc. But he's still majorly known for gaming. But what more can you do to bring an audience? And how much do I want to keep growing? Is it a lifetime thing, or is it for a short period of time, even though it may be years? So I think that's what it is. And I think for me personally, it's great entertainment. It's good to watch.
Did you watch the fight?
Yeah, I watched the fight. I was even there.
Did you watch it live?
No. But I was there when I was actually at the press conference where behind the scenes. Yeah, I was behind the scenes when they actually had the fight on stage, where the build up to the fight. I guess it was great, but looking at them, their audience is you're talking at 13 to 17-year-olds. The biggest audience, like let's say like young kids. So maybe seeing that may not be the best example.
So do you see YouTube moving in a similar direction where now, like, you know, different YouTubers like yourself are gonna call out other YouTubers and have a fight, have a race, do you see that happening?
Yeah, I think it's bringing us a different sort of interactivity into the platform, which is great because now everybody can can call each other out. And
so you support that, do you?
Yeah, in a sense, but I would personally administer things differently. I would do like something else.
What would you do? So if you had to call out a YouTuber, who would it be, and what would you challenge them to?
I mean, but like as of right now, away from me being Josiah, I'd call KSI up. Met him
to a boxing match.
I would box. I'd go for a boxing match because I believe I have the capacity to box. But then away from that, me being myself,
you know he's gonna watch this and message you, right?
He knows me.
He's gonna go. We gotta fight.
Yeah, but I mean, I would love imagine like a go-karting.
Yeah.
YouTubers go-karting race, like something like that. That'd be great. Yeah. And where you can give the money to charity as well as whoever.
I mean that's one of the good things, that the money actually went to charity, didn't it? So I think it did.
It did. Yeah, some of it did, not all of it.
Okay, cool. But it's for a good cause, I guess. And it's boxing. They weren't fighting in the street, something like that. Yeah. It was just interesting because whilst people supported it, and obviously people bought tickets, there was a group of other people who were saying, this is not what YouTube is. Like, you know, I mean,
well, YouTube isn't anything. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's whatever you create, and if you choose to create content in a way that is calling somebody out, and at the end of the day, still creating content, you can never take it away from them, and that's the truth. So
I guess that's probably a good way to kind of encourage newcomers as well. Is that you know, you speak about how Logan Paul's kind of core demographic is like young people. But the truth is, there's a lot of young people. Like, even if you start YouTube now, for instance, you don't have a lot of followers and stuff like that. I suspect there's a lot of young people who like don't have YouTube accounts yet, but will grow up and have the accounts, and they'll be the people watching people today who are starting YouTube today. So there's a bit of a gap. But if you can wait long enough, I guess you might be able to.
Yeah, of course. I think that later. We're moving into the age of my generation, we still love technology. But I think the next generation,
they were born with it. I feel like babies come out texting.
Exactly. They were born with using iPhones. I was born with using no phone. Then I had to get a phone. You know, so technology. If you were to take a technology away from a child in this day and age, it's actually hurting their development because that's what is provided to them. Yeah. So I think in the near future, YouTube, its format is going to be completely different. I believe. I mean, we're talking like a year or two. Because it's changing so quickly, so grossly, so quickly, in such a short time, and I believe within a year it's going to be totally different and it's going to allow more room for creativity, because sometimes creativity is based on what you see others do. So I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do a segment now called 3 in 10, and essentially, you need to name 3 things in 10 seconds. We'll put a time on the screen now, and we will. What am I doing?
Put time on the screen now.
The thing is, it'll actually pop up.
I
know. Okay, alright. Look away from me, please. Okay, there we go. So, we are. What the hell's wrong with you? How are you licking your lips? It's a podcast.
You lick your lips every 10 seconds.
Yeah, I love it.
So, how could you call kettle black? Popcorn and kettle black.
That's how you call kettle black. Because it's black. Anyways, so we are going to go into a segment now called 3 in 10. And you've got 10 seconds, Mr200m, to name some stuff for us. So the first one we're going to ask you is the timer is going to go up now. And Yeah. Name 3 top films you've ever seen.
Film? Is that a movie? Black Panther. I don't know. I don't remember the name. I quit.
What time's up? I think the Vibranium just...
I don't remember any... Do you know what? I watch films blankly. I don't remember anything.
Okay, that's a shame. Well, let's try another one, yeah? People expect better from you. I won't lie. You could have done better than that. Let's do another one. Your 3 favorite rappers, dead or alive?
Rappers. Kendrick Lamar's good. I love J. Cole. J. Cole's on number 1. Kendrick Lamar's number 3.
Time's up.
Drake's number 2.
Okay, we'll give you that. Not too bad. Okay, another one. Top 3. Okay, if you had a dinner party, what 3 people would you have at a dinner party? Sorry.
Yeah. Enunciate. This is a podcast.
If you had a dinner party, I hate this guy. It's really shit for me. If you had a Bro, you're a professional. Wake up. Okay. If you had a dinner party, and you could have 3 people at the dinner... I was smiling really at the start. What the heck? What the heck is carrying on? Okay. So if you had a dinner party...
Why are you stopping? Okay.
If you had a dinner party, and you had to bring 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be?
Will Smith, my dad's mum, because I never met her.
Time up.
Obama.
Oh yeah, you can have Obama.
Yeah.
What about Trump?
He's there.
Okay, right, next. And now we're going to have 20 seconds of straight talking. So this means, let me just set the parameters so you get it. Straight talking means absolutely straight talking. No BS. If you make any BS, if you speak any BS, you're going to have a buzzer, and that will be it. We'll cut the interview off right there. Because at Common Sense, we take it really seriously, straight talking. So I'm going to ask you about a situation. I'm going to need you to just give your honest opinion for 20 seconds. Are we good to go?
Yep.
Okay. About the Monique situation?
Yep.
20 seconds, starting now.
I believe that as a woman, there is a lot of difficulties in that industry specifically. And for what the reason she was talking about, the comedy, yes, I've actually personally seen a lack of female comedians in that industry, and I believe that she was right. Maybe in her action, she may be perceived to play into that anger, but yeah, I guess everybody gets frustrated by frustration.
Okay, that was close. It was good. It was hard, wasn't it?
Yeah,
because you were still kind of saying, well, there's 2 different sides. I was to be straight talking.
I was straight. You see, I'm Mr200m, so I run bends.
We'll put you on the leaderboard and give you a score. And see where we'll see where you are. Well, other guests might be better than you or Western. You never know.
I'm gonna be Western.
Hopefully. Well, that was Mr200 meters.